Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. I'm looking at this hand, it looks pretty good. We have the Saga. We don't have an Amulet, but we do have an Urza Saga. We have a Cavern, which we could use to name Sloth Beast. Just noticed the creature type of a Boreal Grazer, Sloth or Beast. In order to cast it on turn 1, get a bounce land, return the Cavern to our hand, and then set us up for a turn 2 Sword Tooth and our Hammer Skull, assuming we don't get griefed or thought seized. Normally with Urza Saga, you can play turn 1, make sure you get your Amulet by turn 3. But with this aggressive start, I don't know if we really need to even worry about doing that. Opponent says, good luck, have fun. Hey, Manuel Calavera. You too, man. Happy to be playing you. Another Sword Tooth is pretty good. So the Amulet, if we do that, then the Amulet comes down a turn later. But we start putting pressure on. It looks like we're playing some form of affinity. But we could also just get the... We don't even need the Amulet to get the Primal Ghalta, Primal Hunger down. So we will name... We're going to name Beast. I said, and we could have named Sloth. Just for the fun. We'll put this... Maybe we do... I was going to say, we could always just put the Urza Saga down. Return that to our hand. Pass the turn. Next turn, play Cavern and our Saga. Probably, well, we'll play... we could play the Urza Saga into Pugnacious Hammer Skull. Or we could play Wayward Swordtooth just to get our ramp on, but then we wouldn't have the 6/6 to attack with. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting game. We might be in trouble. 2 cards in hand though, so there's that in our favor. So we do Wayward Swordtooth to Pugnacious Hammer Skull, and next turn Ghalta. Sorry, no. Wayward Swordtooth, play an extra land, play the Saga. Gonna name Dinosaur this time. Play the Wayward Swordtooth. Play another land. Pass the turn. Alright, so opponent's got the affinity. This is a scary affinity. It looks like Hardened Scales affinity. Patchwork is such a powerful card. They can kind of win out of nowhere if they have the right combination of cards. So even our opponent's on 3 cards in hand, but if it's the right combination, this could be over quick. Another basic forest. Now, what do we need to play Ghalta next turn? A land, a forest, a green source, Hangerback Walker. Okay. So I guess we really want an untap land next turn. Green. So we can go green source would be ideal. We'd play a mountain and a green source. Oh, the Soul Cauldron. All right, so that's one of their combo pieces that will allow them to, with a Walking Ballista in the yard, give all their guys with counters that ability. So this guy's got flying, right? Go ahead and block the higher one. So I think we want a untapped green source is what we're looking for. I'll just get the Amulet of Vigor, that's also okay. Not exactly how we drew it up. Okay, so just trying to think. So we could always make the construct and it would be a 2/2. Is there a world in which we can get... So there's just no way... If we had drawn a forest, we could theoretically go Wayward Sawtooth into Ghalta. But the double green... So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this missing the land is rough. And we're going to lose it with the Urza Saga. So we can either go token... I mean, we're going to play them out no matter what. So if we do the Amulet of Vigor into Pugnacious Hammer Skull, we can start blocking. They have 0 cards in hand. Or do we want to go... We can't... Okay, so then 1, 2, we get a construct, 7. That gives us, we need, it would be a 5/5. Alright, so I think we're going to go... I hate to skew the whole plan of constructs, but I think if we do that, we make a construct next turn, we have the right land. If we draw a land, what should we do? Make the construct, get the Amulet of Vigor, make the construct, have a bunch of... Alright. Opponent's like, you took all that time just to decide to play an Amulet of Vigor? We're going to go with the construct plan. It's not as much fun. The opponent has 0 cards in hand, so we're kind of hoping that we fade a couple draws. We'll take a big hit here, or take a hit here. So now all of them have reach. Now they're going to grow something. The risk of this is that we just die before we can actually get a big Ghalta. So the idea here is that we can maybe, if we draw a green source, we can theoretically still make a construct, cast a Ghalta, and maybe attach Lava Spur Boots to it. Especially if it's a bounce land. A green bounce land would be ideal. So upkeep, draw a green bounce land. 2, make a construct at end step. 2, make a construct. Lose the land, have the bounce land. So they do another one, and then we would... So now are they going to just be able to grow everything? Okay, so now they're going to exile this and give all of their dudes this ability, which is going to be like fine, I guess. They're going to hit us for 10 at least, 11. So if we make the construct and we get another construct, then there'll be, and we get the Lava Spur Boots, that's going to be 4, they're going to be 8/8s. We'll just need the 2 green to cast Ghalta. I don't know, the math. We need a green bounce land. That's what we need. 3, 6, 12. I mean, we're going to take it. Opponent's empty-handed. Make the construct. Draw a green bounce land. 1 time, deck. You know you can do it. Green bounce land. Explore. Just don't think it's going to be enough. We can cast the Explorer, and if we get... so we could do Shadow Spear. Equip to gain a little bit of life. Is that what we want? Or do we know if we can... if we had drawn the green source, so then... we have to do the Explore. Yeah, I think we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're going to have to explore and hope to hit a green source. That's our only real out here. Mycosynth Gardens is not a green source. So these all have flying, is that correct? Or they can all get flying? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So close. All right. Well, we'll see. We might just be dead. I'm not sure about. I mean, the sequencing there is tough. We got the Shadow Spear, so if theory we can next turn play Ghalta equip, but then we can't attack with it. So we're gonna have to play Ghalta. Yeah, we may have taken the wrong line. We may have just should have gone big with Pugnacious Hammerskull into Ghalta the next turn and worried about getting the Amulet or getting the Urza Saga down later. We made Urza Saga tokens instead of casting what was in our hand, and that may have been a mistake. So they can give something flying, which is probably going to be this, and then they can. I think they can then just sacrifice, but they don't have the double red. So I don't think unless they get another creature, so they can. Let's see. Give this flying. Yeah, they don't have the mana, it looks like. So I think they'd have to have both a white and a red to give it this flying and sack another one of their artifacts to give switch the tokens over or the counters over onto Patchwork and then kill us. So gains flying. I don't know what their last card is. And then how did they manage to give it flying? I thought it cost a white mana to do that. Why is this happening? Am I missing something? Okay. I feel like I'm missing something here. It doesn't matter because it's happening. I mean, they all have flying. I'm very confused, but okay, whatever. We're dead. And why my phone is not working. Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp. Okay. Must be something to do with Cauldron. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. You may spend mana as though their mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures you control. Duh. Alright, so that's the first line of the Cauldron. So that explains that. Alright, well, unfortunate. I don't know if our other... I'm just thinking if we had played the Hammerskull and took that line, if we would have gotten a block in there or slowed down their attacks a little bit. So it's possible that that would have been the right line to get us the win. I will say this, though, that was not the fastest start out of this deck, and we still lost. So I'm not confident in our abilities to win. I'm worried about us winning the next couple. All right, well, we have a lot of ways to interact with what our opponent's doing. Pick your poison. I mean, holy cow. We even have the Haywire Might. Do we want to go that deep, though? Force of Vigors. I mean, pick your poison could be good in the right spot. Take out the Yearlings. Now, what do we want to do? We're in danger of just watering down our attack strategy and not being able to close out a game fast enough with all of our removal and hate. Pick your poison. I mean, it could be really good, but they can also flood the board and they want things to die. So run it like that. Yeah, I mean, Hardened scales affinity is powerful, very synergistic, can win from nowhere. Sweet, just seems like a really fun deck. I've played against it and other affinity decks a lot. I feel pretty confident in our ability to battle it and win. I am a little bit uncertain about that line I took last game with Saga Tokens versus Pugnacious Hammerskull, with knowing how fast they could race. Having the second Zabaz was a big hit for our opponent, but they had so many big hits at that point, and I mean, that was not even that fast of a start, like I said. So that's let me chat with my opponent while I'm waiting. That's what's so scary, right? That wasn't even their fastest best start. All right, well, we have a force. We have Ghalta and the Terror of the Peaks. But man, it's not a very, that's a very slow Amulet. All right, this is better. All right, so we're gonna keep this one. I mean, it pains me to put Ghalta to the bottom, but I mean, I really think that's what we're gonna have to do. Then we don't have anything to pitch. We need this as an untapped bounce land. We need a land to. We'll just trust in the heart of the cards here. The one thing about Brotherhood's End, though, is it's gonna hit our Amulet of Vigor. Although there is a world in which we would do Brotherhood's End for 3 damage to everything. I'm gonna have to start playing a little bit faster because I got to go to baseball in about half an hour. And that seems like plenty of time, but these games can take, you know, obviously more than that. All right, well, we got our good, you know, that's our best opening start. I'll save that chat for later. I'm not sure they saw much of what we were doing. They just saw the Wayward Swordtooth, which could really mean anything. Well, we could go ahead and blow up that Hardened Scales and be real greedy by bouncing this. I don't know if I stacked my triggers right. Return the land you control to your hand. There you go. I did not. I don't know if I really want to ramp our opponent so quickly. But that is one of their best cards. We do have the force to deal with enchantments. I mean, we're going to go for it. We're just going to be greedy. We have so much hate against what they're doing. This is what I was talking about. We brought in 6 cards. We didn't really water down our combo. We took out 2 explorers and 4 of our 2-drop creatures, which could get chump blocked even though they do have trample. But we're in a position now that we can force a vigor if it's not Apache. Then we're going to lose our amulet to this Brotherhood's End though if we're not careful. And we can also play a bounce land next turn. See what they play here. Is it going to be a good target for this force? Alright, Ancient Stirrings, looking. No, I'm just trying to decide. Alright, obviously we don't really enjoy our opponent getting constructs and something with his Urza Saga, especially when we have the Amulet Vigor ourselves that we don't want to lose with the Brotherhoods in. That would theoretically wipe away their entire board. So we kind of want to just... We would love to hit like a Wayward Swordtooth or just another untapped land, because we're going to end up bouncing. We're going to be playing bounce land into bounce land and getting 4 mana every turn without being able to advance our board state any. Let's see what their follow-up, if they're going to tap it and go even deeper. Nature's Claim. Alright, well, that is going to slow us down considerably. Now we really just want... Yeah, that's tough. Just an untapped land at this point. There we go, untapped land. It, of course, is not a red source or a green source. So we're going to need a little bit of help with off the top of our deck again, I think. Yeah, we might just get steamrolled here, folks, with losing that amulet without a little bit of luck. Now, I thought that last match in certain spots, so you never know. The top of the deck is can make or break it, right? I mean, we can easily find exactly what we need next turn and start turning the corner. Another Gruul Turf. All right, well, we're gonna, at least that's something that gives us game. Their opponent's taking a slow... They're obviously taking the route we took last game, which was Urza Saga. We have now the mana to either force a Vigor next turn or Brotherhoods in, depending on what they do. So I am now hoping our opponent just empties their hand of artifacts to 3 mana value or less. So they skewed the making a construct. I just have 6 here. Are they going to make a construct now? Or are they going to go with what's in their hand? I think they'll make the construct, so we're not ready to use this Brotherhoods in yet. Got a Haywire Might, okay. It's times like this where I'm like, man, I really need to figure out editing better. I've edited videos in the past, but the current program I'm using doesn't it doesn't seem to be editing friendly, but I'm sure it can be edited and it's just on me. So we'll, because there's just so much downtime as I wait. And I mean, no critique of our opponent. Just that's the nature of online Magic, is there's just a lot of downtime sometimes, and fill in the void with my wonderfully monotone voice, right? I watch my videos. I'm like, yeah, especially the ones in the morning, man. Okay, Ozlith, love that card. We know, come on opponent, we want you to empty your hand. That's all. Just empty out your hand of various 3 mana artifacts or less, please. Yep. I mean, we can just, I don't know, I don't really want to have 6 because we have this Force of Vigor that we can use in case they get up to something crazy and kill us dead, which has been, theoretically could happen. Doesn't look like they're going to. I think we just have to take a big hit here. And save the Force of Vigor for. I mean, we could go ahead. Actually, we could go ahead and force now, save our life total, and then Brotherhood's in their backup. So let's go ahead and do that. So that then they have to. We can spend a turn getting down another bounce land and have the Brotherhood's end as a way to clean up whatever their follow-up play is. Because I don't think they're going to be playing anything with mana value 3 or greater. And this way we don't get so low that we die to like a janky walking ballista in the Ozolith beach. I mean, it may still happen, to be honest. Alright, what are we gonna... We need to see something off the top here, deck, that isn't a land. We need... Oh, deck. Why do you do this? I mean, it is 28 lands, but... So far we've done nothing but interact with our opponent's board via artifact hate. We have seen no creatures. No finishers. I mean, we can just have 6. See how much they can get up to. I mean, we're leaning hard on this Brotherhood's End. What we really probably want out of next turn is a Wayward Swordtooth or a Pugnacious Hammerskull so that we can go Brotherhood's End into a 3-drop that advances our board somehow. We want them to empty their hand, and then we want to have a 3-drop. Alright, well, Hardened Scales is not something we can get with Brotherhood's End, so that's not what we meant by emptying your hand, opponent. We want to see a bunch of little artifacts down, wipe the board, and draw, and after we draw into a maybe Wayward Swordtooth or Pugnacious Hammerskull. So yeah, if you could just help us out there, deck. You're holding on to that Boseiju for a while, waiting for another Amulet, but we have not been so lucky. I mean, even an Amulet at this point is a good setup draw for the future, but... Alright, Arcbound Ravager. Do we die this turn? Man, that's a lot of damage. I don't think we're dead, but we really need something off the top to help us out. Alright, so they went with the making it really big to get it out of lightning bolt range, I guess, versus growing the Haywire Might and killing us that way. So that's okay, I guess. We'll take that. Oh my gosh, deck. Why do you... Why? Why? Why must you do this to me? Alright, opponent's going to have 2 cards in hand. Can we find something other than lands? Man, we really needed to hit some action. We needed action. They were trying to think if there's any way they can protect their board, I guess. I don't... If they want to exile the Haywire Might to do something, I don't... Yeah, alright. Alright, so they got their combo online, and now we need another Brotherhood's End, because that's, well, they can kill us dead from nowhere, and we need something that isn't a land. Oh, deck, why must you punish me? Oh, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, we kept the hand. We mulliganed a hand that had a lot of action, but just had nothing in it as far as like, we didn't have any of our enablers, so it was going to be a long time before we got to cast anything. And we got a hand that had plenty of interaction with our opponent, got lucky drawing an amulet, and then just have hit land every turn. So yeah, we're just in a lot of trouble. But I mean, we're a couple draws away here. I think our opponent's not able to put a lot of pressure on us if they, depending on their follow-up. I'm not sure how they're getting so many counters, but I never. Oh yeah, Hardened Scales. I suppose I'm never. I just don't even bother following the whatever happens. And hey, it's another land. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um. That's yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? That's how it is sometimes, especially with a 28 land deck. I thought I was being as patient as I could to pull the trigger on some of my removal. And we actually needed to draw some lands there. So, I mean, we got lucky with some of our early draws, and now we've just like majorly flooded. Which is unfortunate because, first of all, that doesn't make for very good content. Second of all, I mean, we can beat this deck. We have the tools, as you can see, so we just didn't draw the right combination of tools to fight the deck and threats. And again, I went down 4 2-drops. Those 3/2 tramplers, if I had drawn them instead, we'd be just as dead. So down to 5. What do we need? We probably just need another Brotherhood's End. And then Walking Ballista is, I think, probably going to be enough to kill us at this point. Because I think they can sacrifice. It's got modular. Oh, man. Um, we'll go ahead and concede and reveal our 6 lands. I mean, just what are you supposed to do with 6 lands? And we don't get to draw a card. I really wanted to see what we're going to draw. How many more lands were we going to draw? All right, well, that's it. I got to go to baseball anyway. And sometimes this happens, right? Game 1, we took a line that I'm not sure we would have won with the other line, but it's possible. The other line might have been better. Sometimes you have to take into consideration the speed of your opponent's deck, whether or not keeping your cards in hand and taking advantage of your 3-for-1 land is worth it or is going to be fast enough. And I think we would have had a better chance had we taken the other line, playing Pugnacious Hammerskull and all that. And then game 2, yeah, I mean, the choice of mulliganing I think was correct, and then we kept a very interactive hand that got us to a point where we could have rebuilt, or we could have put pressure on our opponent after answering their board, but we just flooded out hard, and that's magic. So anyway, for CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one for League Match number 3. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. If you haven't already, check out my original Magic the Gathering content over at cyclesgaming.com. I write about my various commander decks. I post articles and video of my gameplay of my various modern Janky brews, and I'm publishing my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, serially. If you enjoy the content, check out my YouTube channel, Johnny Cycles, and click that subscribe button. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one.